Coming to you live from ISE 2023 in the Avocor booth. We welcome you to our live watch party number 2 for the day. My name is Dana Corey, I'm Senior Vice President of Sales. I'm stepping in for Brian Karskadin, who can't make it right now, but I'm also joined by my friend and product expert, Rylan Ramakrishnan. Rylan, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dana.
Before we get started, on the chat during our live watch party, you can put your questions in there. We'll be answering those at the end, so please put those in as we go along, and feel free, we'll answer those at the end. So Rylan, again, great to see you. We're here at the live watch party together. So what are we discussing today?
Well, Dana, today I am very excited to discuss the fantastic 105-inch, 21:9, 5K resolution L Series. Truly an absolute beast, magnificent beast, if I may say.
Yeah.
I mean, very excited to talk about it with you today.
It's been real popular today for sure at the show.
Of course, yeah,
we're just finishing the show here in a few minutes, so been a lot of great feedback on it for sure. So, in your mind, what are some of the key features you've heard today and stand out for you on this product?
Well, there's an abundance of fantastic features with this display, but some of the key ones I want to highlight today, I mean, the first is the aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
The bezel-less edge-to-edge glass, it really is exceptional to look at. I mean, it really does allow for seamless amalgamation into any corporate environment. We take this with the UIQ as well, which allows for easy on-screen manipulation of all on-screen display settings, as well as any other functionality.
Yep.
You completely have control of the UIQ. You have complete control of the display with the UIQ. Now, this can be paired with the remote management. Through Fuse, you're able to configure all, whether it be 1 L Series, 100 L Series, from a single location.
Yeah.
It truly is amazing.
That is nice, so I can push over-the-air updates to it, I can do remote management as well. That's great stuff.
Of course.
So what else stands out in your mind for this?
So I think the next thing that stands out is the 5K resolution. It doesn't matter where you are sitting within the meeting space, whether it be in the corner here or further back, you're going to have pixel clear image quality. Now, you could be watching a movie, you could be in a video call. You have full flexibility to see the best possible image.
Yeah, 5K is incredible. Anything else stand out to you?
Well, there's numerous different methods of connectivity. Ones to highlight, DisplayPort, HDMI, but most importantly, USB-C.
Yep.
Through a single USB-C connection, you're able to transmit video, audio, and touch from whichever USB-C enabled laptop to the display whilst passing power and internet back. And with power, it's 100 watts of power.
Yeah.
You can power pretty much anything with this thing.
That's a long meeting, right? We'll be there for hours with 100 watts, for sure.
Yeah.
So as we move along, what are some of the use cases you see both for the touch and the non-touch versions for the L Series?
Of course. So with the non-touch, we're seeing the use case similar to what we have here. We have a G Series paired with our non-touch variant, which has a MTR system, a Lenovo on-table control, which is driving the display. Now, we see individuals using a G Series or a touch companion whiteboard, which then drives to the Microsoft front row experience. That's a non-touch use case that we think is going to be very popular, especially amongst many of the clientele that we met today. They really see a big use case for this.
Yeah.
Now,
and adding, I mean, with the G Series, like you mentioned, companion whiteboarding right there, so we have non-interactive, interactive in the same room, so definitely agree with you.
Exactly that. And then with the touch variant, if an individual or the client wants to have a central console for collaboration, whether it be remote or on site, I mean, the touch variant becomes the perfect tool, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, collaboration overload, right? Yeah. So we've got a lot of 16:9s in our portfolio right now, from 55-inch to 86-inch, and we're moving to 21:9. In your mind, why 21:9 over 16:9?
Well, with 21:9, we're seeing an eruption in the desktop environment, right? More and more people who want to improve their productivity and workflow are moving to a 21:9 aspect ratio just for the increased real estate. It's roughly 33% more real estate, which allows for numerous applications to be worked on in tandem. Now, on top of this, we're now seeing increased emphasis being placed on features and applications using that 21:9 aspect ratio. For example, Microsoft Teams. If you want to use front row, you need 21:9. Therefore, we're creating a display which allows you to harness this functionality. There's going to be more and more applications that require 21:9 to optimize the functionality.
Well, and staying with that tone, when you look at it from an Avocor's perspective, why have we entered this market? What, in your opinion?
Well, it's exactly that. Everyone wants 21:9. Microsoft Teams Room being 21:9. We're seeing furniture companies make furniture specific to front row and this new 21:9 aspect ratio. The market wants 21:9. We're delivering. Yeah,
we've seen a lot of the furniture, like you said earlier, a lot of 21:9 activity here when it comes to just content and partnerships of that nature. So definitely agree with you on the 21:9. So the next one I know the answer to because I'm in sales, but I'm asking anyways. How much does it cost? What's the MSRP in these two models?
Of course. So the non-touch variant is going to be $14,999 US. And the touch variant will be $19,999 US.
That's a good deal, I think. That's for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah. So when we move to availability now, so we got these two versions. When do you see them coming out?
So we are aiming to get the non-touch variant out in April, and then in June we should see the touch variant out.
And those are in market at distribution availability, right? Not
course.
just shipping, but they're actually there.
Exactly. So get your orders in now, eh?
Yeah. So pre-orders have been strong for sure. So I got to say, put your orders in for sure. So let's just keep on the same track to get a little bit longer. So what are some of the pain points that we're addressing with the L Series in your mind?
Of course. So people who are currently using the front row environment in Microsoft Teams room, they're using projectors, so on and so forth. Now, when it comes down to well-lit rooms, especially so we look at some of the big conference rooms, they're using all glass windows, there's a lot of lighting in there. Projectors become almost redundant. Whereas here, we don't have that case. This has got fantastic backlight which will be suitable for well-lit environments.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the light, the brightness definitely makes a difference, right? From viewing angles to brightness to, of course, like you said, the resolution, right?
Of course.
So what else kind of stands out in your mind there?
Now, another thing that stands out, if I want to get, this sort of real estate, I might need to put two 65, 75 or 85 inch screens, right? That's going to take a lot of time, money and investment to get on the wall.
Not to mention the bezel.
Of course, the bezel. I mean,
we love our single panels, but man, right?
Of course, the bezel, no bezel in the middle.
No bezel.
That goes a long way. So this, although it's a big unit, it's only 100 kg. It's not that hard to put on the wall.
Yep.
It's going to save a lot of time, money and investment just by going with the 105 inch.
For sure, for sure. And then any other features within that kind of pain points, so maybe like a wireless share?
Of course, yeah. We've got integrated wireless screen sharing as well as whiteboard as well. That's right. We've been listening to you guys. Everyone's been asking, when can we get integrated whiteboard? When can we get integrated wireless screen sharing? We've accommodated for that. We have wireless screen sharing and whiteboard built into the L Series. So you don't need any onboard compute, it's ready to go.
Yep, so we're not trying to address all the things in the market, we want to make sure they have at least enough to get going, wireless share, whiteboarding,
yeah,
and if they want to do more, they can add those other features to it as well, right?
Of course,
right,
yeah.
So just give you enough to get going, but it's probably more than enough to get going, for sure. So, and where do we see this fitting in our portfolio right now?
So this is in a use case of its own, right? We've got 105 inch, absolute beast, and we see this in two different ways mainly. One being paired with a touch companion whiteboard, especially the non-touch, very, very popular, right? Mm-hmm. We've had so many clientele today say, this is how we propose to use it, this is how we can see our clientele using it. Now, the next is as the standalone display for the ultimate collaboration experience, whether it be two individuals standing in front, collaborating together, or enabling that meeting equity, connecting with your remote colleagues. We can see this being a prime candidate.
Yeah, and like you said, we've had so much activity today at the booth that we can come up a full day saying it's definitely exciting in the 21x9, and all the things you talked about, I fully agree with number one.
Amazing.
But as we close up here, we want to move to the next section, which will be some of the questions that you might have for us. But before we do that, if you're interested in getting more information or learning more about us as we go along, go to avocor.com/subscribe. We'll give you all the information on a regular basis. We're definitely good at communicating for sure. And of course, if you want demos, of course, we'll be doing those over the next few months as well, whether it be live in person or virtually as we do normally. So I want to thank you again for being here with me.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah,
amazing
love to do it.
Here.
I like to do it all the time, huh? All right, so let's move to some of our questions that are on the YouTube here. Let's see here. Give me a second. All right. Okay, let's turn my volume down here. Thank you. All right, thanks for that.
That's all right.
See tech support, I need it right now. All right, so one of the questions was from Patrick, how bright is the display?
So how bright is the display? We can go up to 350 nits with this display, so plenty of brightness. You have more than enough brightness to suit your needs.
Yep. I think Patrick also said, looks great by the way. Thanks Patrick, 396 for that one. James coming up with what technology is used on the touch version?
So we are using capacitive touch, and this is some of the best capacitive touch on the market. We have really overspec'd this display. With Avocor, we have the best possible touch experience. We want to continue that with the L Series, and we're using the best capacitive touch on the market, so you're going to get that pen on paper like accuracy. Yep.
So next question is a question that I like, that will come up often, is the price and then also availability, so I'll cover that one. So $14.99 is for the non-touch, $19.99 US for the touch version. Availability in market in April for the non-touch and June for the touch version. So thanks James for that question as well. And then Patrick came back in. Thanks, Patrick, for the questions. What accessories would you recommend to complete the MTR setup?
So with the MTR setup, you want an MTR-ready NUC, right? That's the prime candidate. A lot of people have the common misconception that they can just get any PC, plug it in HDMI USB, download Microsoft Teams Room, and they're ready to go. That's not the case. You do need a Teams Room-ready compute. Now once you've got the Teams Room Ready compute, you may choose to have an on-table control, which allows for you control from the table, of course it's in the name, on-table control, and it feeds onto the large screen. I would then have HDMI going from the Nook to the display. If you're using the touch variant, HDMI and USB going to the display.
Yeah, so a lot of ways you can configure the system for sure.
Of course.
So hey, that ends some of our questions here. We really appreciate your time, as do I, and everybody on the live watch here. We hope to do more of these in the future, but thank you for joining, and thanks again, Rylan.
Thank you, Dana.
Right.
Thank you, guys.